Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my Flosstube. I'm Ali, a wee Scot in Yorkshire, um, and this is my Flosstube. This is number 12. I said last time that it was number 12. Actually, it wasn't. It was number 11. This is number 12. Yes, welcome. Welcome to any newbies that have joined. Lovely lady called Karen messaged me. Had just watched my first Flosstube and thoroughly enjoyed it, and she had some very complimentary things to say about Maggie the Messmaker. And we all know that I do love Maggie the Messmaker. It is Sunday, the 23rd of March. It's almost 10 to 4 in the afternoon. It's quite early for me to be doing Flosstube. But yeah, I thought I'd get it over with because I will be chatting with Di later on. So I thought I'll do it this afternoon while I'm sort of semi-organised, and then get it posted up, and then I can sit in the stitch with Di. So first things first, a couple of Flosstubes ago, I said there was a big thing going on. It was a big secret. Well, Stuart let the cat out of the bag when he posted his Flosstube up this morning. But yes, my big secret was I was going to the Scottish retreat, and hoping to surprise some of my many friends up there, and I think I achieved that, including Stuart. It was just lovely walking into that room, and Angie, who was one of the two people in the know, was literally bouncing up and down in her chair. And she's going, see you, see you, see you. And of course, everybody turned around, everybody went, and it was just lovely, just seeing the astonishment, and then so many people coming up and big hugs and so glad you're here and saying how well I looked, even if I was completely and utterly knackered after the journey. And it was just lovely, just spending time with me Ain Fork. And I think Maureen's still got the hump with Angie and me for not telling her. And Donna can finally unzip her mouth and start talking freely again. She said it's the hardest thing she ever had to do. But I had such a fabulous weekend. I really did. I'm booked in for November and I can't wait to go back. I really can't. It's just so lovely to feel welcome. And just going around the room and seeing everyone and catching up, and it was fabulous. I did get some stitching done. Angie and I closed the room down on Friday night at about 20 past 1 in the morning. And then we stitched all day Saturday, which was lovely. And I didn't go and have a snooze like I normally do, which was unusual. And it was just lovely. And I got a lovely, when we did the raffle, I got this lovely. In fact, hang on a second. I'll get it down from the mantelpiece. There we go. So it's this lovely. It's a lantern, and if I switch it on, if I can get it to switch on. Come on. Oh, it's the wrong bit. There we go. Doesn't that look pretty? I just love how the light bounces off. It's sort of, it's got a copper colour inside, and the light just bounces off of it. And it's just so, so pretty. So I was absolutely, completely enamoured with it. And I've lost the switch again. Come on, Ali, go grip. There we go. So I'll put that down there, out of the way. Have a quick swig of tea. There we go. Okay. The one downside this week was the news from my cousin that my aunt had passed away just after I returned back down here to Yorkshire. It was expected. She had cancer and she's been quite ill for quite a long time. She'd had a heart attack, and she'd had a previous one, and they'd managed to sort her out, but she had another one, and this time, you know, that was it. But not only that, but my other aunt, who is not actually a blood relation, but she was Aunt Joan's best friend, and they'd been best friends since primary school. They're both now in their 80s, or we're both in their 80s. They lived literally back to back to each other and had done for something like 50 years. Always in each other's houses. Graham had put a post up, a photograph this morning on his Facebook of the two aunties with their husbands, both of whom had also predeceased them. And it was just how I remembered them from when I was a little girl. I was always with them, especially at weekends. I was always either at Auntie Joan's or I was at Aunt Charlotte's. As I get older and after Graham was born, I used to take up babysitting duties at weekends, tell our the families to go out and just socialise for a little while. And I must have spent most of my life, most of my early life, with them. In latter years, I had moved down to England when I was moved down to Birmingham when I was in my early 20s, you know, obviously it got harder over the years to keep in touch with people, but I was in touch with both of them through Facebook. Unfortunately, last time I saw them was about 8 years ago, probably, because I don't get back home to Scotland very often, unfortunately. So a bit of sadness there. My next trip up home obviously will be for the funerals, and from what Graham has said, they're going to do back-to-back funerals and then a joint wake for both of them. So whilst it'll be nice to see extended family, you know, it's the worst kind of reason for going back home, really. So they've been on my mind all week. Yeah, I miss them. That's it. They're all gone now. All the oldies are gone. There's only my Uncle Alistair left. So yeah. Anywho, moving on. Okay, so start off with 5 and 5, shall we? So last time I was on, I showed you the bookmark, which is actually upstairs in the craft room. So but I haven't done any more to that. Obviously, it's always the first one out in my 5 and 5. So the second one out was the spring sampler. Is this one here? So spring sampler. It is by Little House Needleworks. There we go. Lovely design. That is computer generated that picture. Doesn't do it justice by any stretch of the imagination. This was a birthday present from Di last year, along with all the threads and the fabric to do it on. So the fabric is 28 count linen antique ivory, and this is where I've got to. I wonder if I get anything I can put at the back of that too. So I don't know what I've done with my... Oh, hang on a minute. Hold that thought. Oh, there it is. Honestly. Found it. Okay. There, that's better. You can see it better now. So there we go. So as you can see, this side is already completed. I've started on this side here. Started putting the leaves in. House is complete. So I've just got to do the flowers and the rest of the leaves on this side, and then there's some grass either side of the house with some plants, and then the wording down below that says spring. So it's lovely, really, really lovely, and it's so nice to stitch, and this fabric is wonderful. This is part of a sorry, I'll just tie a bow in this ribbon. Could actually do with washing it and ironing it. So yeah, it's a big bit of fabric. It's fat quarter, and this is part of a series. So winter is out. I've seen it. It's gorgeous. So it will go probably underneath this one, and then I'll get autumn and summer as well. All four of them will go on there, which will give me almost half the fabric to use for something else, which is great. So that will get picked up early in April, once we've finished with March, which we're finishing with March next weekend. Well, it's a week tomorrow is the last day of March. So this has been done with called for threads, and they are classic colourworks. Go, lovely palette. I love this. What's it called? Cherry tomato. It's very vibrant, and next to that yellow, it just looks lovely, doesn't it? And my little pussycat, made by Tarina. So, as I say, that will be picked up in April. Throw those in there. Whoops, clunk. I'm just chucking it about. There we go. So that is that one. We'll put that over there for now. Okay, so the next one in 5 and 5 was Winter Sampler. That over there. And what's this one? Trying to remember which one it is. I really should put little... Yes, it is this one. Okay, so first of all, let me get this up on Pattern Keeper. There we go. Winter Sampler by Croquetta Go-Go. It's suddenly gone very dark in here. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous design. I totally love this. Absolutely love it to bits. Tan and I were having a look at it the other week. She's bought it purely for the animals. She's not really fussed on alphabets, and she's not overly fussed on houses, so she's going to cut them out of it and just do the animals and the border and stuff. So took this up to Scottish Retreat with me at the weekend, and here's where I've got to. So I finished the squibbles. And my reason for going to bed so late on Friday night, or Saturday night, I can't remember which night it was because I wanted to finish the branch that they're sitting on, because I didn't want them hanging around in midair until the next time I picked it up. I think that's a perfectly reasonable reason for sitting up and stitching late. But they've got the branch, they've got the strawberry, and they're looking rather cute, I must admit. I do love this. There we go. So yeah, Tan and I were looking at this design and others in the series, and there is a spring one, an autumn one, a Halloween one, but there isn't a summer one yet, so hopefully that will happen fairly soon, because I would like to do all 4 of them. I'm not too sure about the Halloween one. I'm not really a Halloween person, but I do want to get the other ones. I think they would look lovely all framed together and hanging together. These are the called for DMC threads. And yep, that will get picked up again next month. And I need to show you this because this is one of Stuart's bags. Look at that. Look at the lovely backing fabric in there. Isn't that amazing? And the vinyl front, and it's a sparkly one. And look at them. Oh, they're just adorable. Love them to bits. I love Stuart's bags. My quilts that I've been working on for quite a while is in one of the very first bags that he actually did and brought to the stitching retreat. And I bought it actually keep my Kindle in, but it soon got a project put in it. But yeah, I absolutely love this. It's amazing. So that was Winter Sampler. So I finished Winter Sampler, finished working on Saturday, and then moved on to Spring Awakenings. And I'm loving how this is working up. I'll just get it up here on Pattern Keeper for you. And there it is. Beautiful, beautiful design. Loving working on it. Absolutely loving it. This one is by Stitches Through the Years. I'm just looking at the looking at where I am on it. I'm really pleased with what I've achieved with it so far. I really am. So this is where I've got to. I love the little motifs. They're just brilliant. Very random, but they just fit, don't they? So I'm going to work my way across here to this side, and then there's another border underneath that. So there's another line like here, like this, and then there is another row of the snowdrops, and then that's the bottom of the inside of the design. And then what I might do is work the border up to the top and then start working down so that I can get the rest of the design in. But yeah, it is lovely. Stitching it on, I didn't say about the others, but you probably already know this. Stitching it on 28 count Joberlin in bone. It's called for DMCs, which I'll show you in a minute once I've got this all folded up nice and tidy. Oops. So these are the threads here. I did start putting them onto floss cards and then I got fed up, so I've got 2 on floss cards and the rest are here. Very minimal. There's only about 8 colours in it, I think, altogether. Again, lovely floss drop. That was made by Pretty Little Thread Keeps Hazel. So, really pleased with how this is working up. Normally what I would do with 5 and 5 is work on a little bit, see how it goes. If I want to keep working on it, I do. If I don't, it goes back into sort of the whip basket, and then it'll get picked out and probably end up in roll the dice. But I'm just loving these two so much, and Spring Sampler, that I just want to keep working on them. So that was that. Now the last number in 5 and 5 is always the Roll the Dice project, and this month's Roll the Dice is Renaissance Mermaid. And I was talking to Barbara at the retreat last weekend, and we were talking about this, and she said, oh yeah, I got it at one of the retreats. I said, how are you getting on with it? She said, well, I finished it all bar the beading. And I was like, because Barbara is retired, but I'm still up here doing the hair and stuff. Hold on a sec, and I will just pull her out so you can see. So this is where I am. So that pale part is her elbow and part of her arm, and I filled all of that in last night. I was sat up watching tennis like you do, and so I filled all of that in. So later today I will get hopefully a fair bit more done on it. I will be working on it until the end of this month, so it's a week tomorrow. So hopefully I am going to get quite a lot of inroads in on this one. She's stitched on a 28 count. Now I don't know if it's a Lagana or a Brittany. It's by Kate Sparkleys, and I think it was either a one-off or it was a retreat special, this fabric, and the last time I saw was at Harrogate Needlework Show, and I was looking for a fabric for this design, and the ones I'd narrowed it down to, she didn't have either of them, and she just said, what about this? And I thought, that's it, it's just perfect, and it just looks like the sea. the different colours of the sea. It's brilliant. I love it. So it is being done using the cold 4 colours, which are mostly DMC. There are a couple of water lilies, Karen water lilies. This one is blueberry. This one is sea glass. And they're just lovely, and I just love playing with them because they're so tactile. They're just gorgeous. There's also some Chronics in there. I think these are all of them. Chronics. I love this turquoisey blue. It's beautiful. And of course, it really wouldn't be a Mirabilia without beads and treasures, of which we have plenty. And these are all in there. I was having a look at these last night, actually. Beautiful. I love these dark. These ones here. We've got the heart-shaped one, which is part of the bag. And there's also a teardrop as well. There it is there. And that's at the bottom of the bag. So, yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to get to the beading, but I need to do all the stitching first, don't I? We won't get there. Why did I close that? Naughty. No, I didn't. It's open. There we go. Okay, pop them in there. Did I put them? Oh no, it's there. Okay. Confusing myself. Doesn't take much these days. Okay, so that's that one. So that's all the stitching that I've done over the last 2 weeks. At the retreats, we always have obviously we have a finishes table, and I put my bookshelf there. Stuart's bookshelf was there as well. They weren't next to each other on the table, but he has done a little extra video of the finishes table, and some of those finishes were gorgeous. And they actually, what they did this time was get one of the members of staff to come in and award a first, second and third prize for the ones that they thought were what they liked the best. And they had little rosettes, first, second and third, which was lovely. So Stuart's Monster House, it was, I can't remember if he was second or third. Jilly, she was either second or third. I've got a feeling it was Stuart, then Jilly, and then Jane's gorgeous wolf design got first. And all three of them are just beautiful. And if you go onto Stuart's channel, Stuart's and Stitches, you will see his little short where he's put the finishes table up. It's worth looking at. So also there was, Stuart had his bags, Peggy had some bags and other bits and bobs. I didn't get time to look at what Peggy had properly. I wish I had now, but I just dove straight in there and grabbed one of Stuart's bags. I was like, I'm having it. But there's also, we always have a table for people to put stuff that they either want to sell or they're just going to give away. And I found this as a giveaway, which I thought was really pretty. I especially like how they finished this. I think it's been done as a flat fold. But I love the fabric, the view. I just love everything about it, to be honest. So it's called Sunflower Garden. It's by the Old Barn Stitching Company. And it's done You can either do it all in DMCs or a mixture of DMCs or cottage garden threads. So this will go into my to-do pile, which is getting larger by the second. Especially as Maureen and I then went on to their website and they had some freebies. So, so these are called Birds and Barns, and I've got winter. Hang on a minute. I've got winter, spring, and autumn. So again, I don't know where all the summer things are. So there we go. So that is winter. That's autumn. I really like those. And spring. That's a little blue tip. So all freebies. The website is it's the Old Barn Stitching Company. It's www.littleloops.co.uk is the website. And they're absolutely gorgeous. So I used to download freebies all the time. Back in the days when I had a printer and you had all of the designers were doing freebies on their own websites, and I've got 2 lever arch folders full of freebies. I have used some of them, not all of them, but some of them. I will get around to it. But every time there's something comes up and I have to do something, I will always go and look in there first rather than go and buy something. Yeah, they're just so cute. So I need to start trawling for freebies again, I think. So yeah, that will make an appearance at some point. Right, now the other thing that did at the retreat, and this is going back quite a bit because I got stuck with the Peacock. I took it on a holiday with me a couple of years ago, discovered I'd gone wrong with it somewhere, couldn't work out where, and pretty much haven't looked at it since. I've tried a couple of times to figure it out. I did a lot of frogging when we were in France with it, and every time I thought I'd got it stitched up again, it was the same thing. This is the design. Now it's this bit here that I've been having problems with. Whenever I get down there, it's obviously that I've miscounted. So Tammy had said to me, right, next time I see you, bring it along and we will figure it out. So after I'd seen her and said hello and got caught up, I went over and I said to her, right, here it is, do what you can. So this is it. As you can tell, that picture doesn't do it justice. I mean, look at those colours, it's beautiful. It's an Alexandra Adelaide Needleworks design. And she reckons, after having a good proper look at it, she thinks that I have used some half stitches in there, which is most likely what is knocking it out. So what I'm probably going to do is just take the whole head back right down to about here, I reckon, and then just stitch it back up very, very slowly. When I'll get around to it, I don't know, but I will do eventually. When the weather starts improving, I may sit out back with a cuppa and just do a bit of frogging with it, and then possibly it could make its way back into roll the dice, or even into 5 of 5, just to get a little bit of progress on it. But I'm so glad that Tammy figured it out for me. It's you can tell how often it's been taken out and then thrown down again. It's been stitched on. It's a sparklies fabric. It's I think it's baby blue. Hang on a second, I'll tell you. I thought I had the bag for the fabric, but it's not there. I think it is baby blue. It'll be in my project book. It's an opalescent fabric, so it's a bit sparkly as well, which could be the reason why I'm kind of losing the plot a bit with it. But we will have another go at it. We'll get it all taken back and see how we go. I do love the fabric though, so I'm reluctant to try it on another piece of fabric. Well, we'll see how we go. But thank you very much, Tammy, for sorting me out, if you like. The threads are just the called for DMC. Beautiful, beautiful colours. Lovely turquoises, deep blues, navy. Just gorgeous. That's them all there. Look at that. Look at those colours. So, watch this space. And we'll see how we go. Put that back in there. So that's it. A little bit of haul. Even if they were all freebies. Quite a lot of stitching, which I'm pleased about. And a fabulous weekend to look back on for a long time to come. Just remembering some of the laughs that we had. There was one small thing that did come out of it, and that was there were a couple of people who didn't quite have the retreat etiquette, shall we say, and they caused a bit of trouble, especially for Donna. But to be honest, it came across more as entitlement than anything else.